In today's video, I'm going to share what I ate over the Christmas period and to show you that sometimes it's okay to indulge and not have to feel guilty for doing so. Like every day, my day starts off with a cup of freshly brewed coffee. As it is Christmas, I had a peaceful morning and took my coffee back to bed to watch a few inspiring videos on YouTube while I drank my coffee. Even on normal days, part of my morning ritual is to spend a few minutes watching inspiring or uplifting videos to help set me up for the day. Thankfully, the day stayed dry and I managed to go out for my walk run and just to get out in nature. I went out fasted, which meant I didn't have breakfast after my coffee, just to maximise the effects of my exercise. So by breakfast time, I was really hungry. So this is my Christmas Eve post-run lunch, and it is Christmas, so there isn't a lot of vegetables. So this is what I call Filipino eggs, which is basically scrambled eggs with onions, garlic and tomatoes. I haven't had this for a very long time. So being Christmas, we've got nibbles. So we've got breaded king prawns, and I think these are cod and chorizo balls. So that's my lunch for today. Of course, it's really important to have lots of water, whether it's Christmas or not. The reason I'm having bottled water is because after the cold weather, we had no water in our area. Thankfully, the water company provided residents with bottled water for the time that the water supply was turned off. So normally I wouldn't have dessert after lunch, or I'll have a cup of tea and a biscuit. But seeing as it is Christmas, I am having a dessert. This is mince pie with brandy butter, and why not? And this is red bush tea because I try to avoid caffeine after 12 o'clock. Red bush tea is one of the teas that you can have if you do want to avoid caffeine affecting your sleep. And I wouldn't normally have these sorts of foods during normal days, but it is Christmas and it's okay to indulge, because that's what life is all about sometimes, isn't it? After a few hours in the office, I decided to do as much of the Christmas food prep as I could, so that way Christmas Day can be a lot more relaxed. So this plate of onions, there are ginger and garlic underneath. That's going to be for the noodles tomorrow. I did too much garlic. That's the Brussels sprouts already ready for cooking in the morning. This is going to be the base for the gravy that will be cooked underneath the lamb, and all these vegetables will catch the flavour of the lamb, and that will make our homemade gravy. Knowing that I would be eating lots of rich foods for Christmas Day and for the next few days, I kept my Christmas Eve dinner simple by making chicken fried rice from leftovers of the previous night's dinner. I just shredded cooked chicken and added to cold rice from the night before. Of course, I also had some broccoli, which I lightly cooked to go with the fried rice. So this is my dinner on my lonesome on Christmas Eve: stir-fried chicken and broccoli. Just like every morning, my day started off with freshly brewed coffee. Recently I've been enjoying my coffee as a mocha. Because this hot chocolate mix contains sugar, I try to only have mocha during the weekdays and give myself a few days break from having sugary coffee. What I really need to do is to wean myself off having sugar in my coffee again. Thankfully, the added sugar in my coffee doesn't trigger hot flushes like it used to. What I didn't show yesterday is that I drink around 200 ml of warm water while my coffee brews. This is something that I've been doing for many years. It helps prime my digestion for the day and to flush out my digestive system. That's what I read many years ago and why I started doing it. I also feel that it's more gentle as the first thing to go through my digestive system after an overnight fast. For my Christmas morning breakfast, I had scrambled eggs and smoked salmon. It does make it a bit more special, as normally if I did have eggs for breakfast, it would be just eggs and toast. Here's the selection of foods that I cooked for Christmas lunch, or by the time I had it, early dinner. Just to be transparent, I did have a few glasses of wine, and maybe even Bailey's too, which is a cream liqueur. And of course, I had lots of water in between. If you're like me, you probably find that drinking alcohol has a different effect on your body now, since being in menopause. So this is my first plate of Christmas dinner. It's roast lamb with homemade gravy, a few potatoes because I'm not that much of a fan of potatoes, but it's Christmas. There's Brussels sprouts and lots of noodles just to fulfill the Filipino in me, and everything else will be leftovers for the next couple or 3 days. So normally I wouldn't have any dessert in the evenings, but seeing as it's Christmas, I had a small slice of this chocolate panettone, and as you can see, that's all I had. So today is Tuesday the 27th of December, I think it is, and so I've been taking it easy today, and that's because yesterday I managed to get out for a walk stroke run and did my usual 10+K walk, and I was feeling really good yesterday when I got back, so I was really excited to have some leftovers, and I had a bowl of noodles and some breaded king prawns, which sadly I didn't take any photos of. It was a bit slightly gluttonous, and I think I got too carried away with feeling good because I also had about 2 or 3 shots of Bailey's. By the afternoon I was relaxed, and I pretty much spent the afternoon lying down on the sofa and just relaxing. So for some reason when I woke up I was feeling really dizzy, and in all honesty I think it was a combination of having quite a lot of rich foods. They were, since probably about Friday, having a lot more alcohol than I would normally do, and I think my digestive system just had enough. And also I think because I made pancit, which is Filipino noodles, and my body isn't used to having so much gluten because I put normal noodles in it, as in noodles made from wheat, and my body can't take too much gluten foods. And even last night I went to bed a lot earlier than I would have liked to, and I still woke up a bit dizzy this morning, and I know that's probably got to do with the gluten because I remember that feeling. And although I had the Bailey's, I didn't have any more drink because I just couldn't manage to keep my head upright. I just felt dizzy every time I moved around too much, so I don't think it was the alcohol. I do have a funny feeling that is probably to do with too much gluten. It's now about 5 to 1. Apart from my coffee this morning, I've had lots of water, especially warm water, just to soothe my stomach. I've been soaking some kelp, which is just seaweed, and I'm going to make that into miso soup. So I've just added different kind of seaweed, namely because I really do like the taste and textures of seaweed. And I'm going to add more water to this bowl. So the seaweed had about 10 minutes ish soak in the hot water, and I've already drained it, ready for the miso soup mix that I've got here. And this is what I'm going to add into the bowl to turn into soup. That's what it looks like. So this is what it looks like after I've mixed in all that miso paste. Hopefully this will be enough to keep me going until dinner time. So it's now about 10 to 3 in the afternoon, and the soup went down really well, to be honest. It was nice and light, but at the same time sort of filling because of all the seaweed that was in it. But I've been in the office for the past few hours and it's quite cold in there, and I thought it would be nice to have something hot to drink, like a peppermint tea. And then all of a sudden a slice of panettone flashed in my mind, and then I had this taste of the brando butter that came with it, and so here I am. So this is what I'm having, a nice slice of chocolate panettone and lots of brandy cream, which probably I shouldn't have that much, but I'm going to blame it on Christmas, and it will all stop again after Christmas straight New Year. And instead of having red bush tea, I'm having a nice peppermint tea. I'm still keeping my main meals light. So for dinner I made some lugaw, which is a Filipino version of congee. I used up what was left over of the roast lamb and added ginger, garlic and onion to the rice. I also added a chicken stock cube, some water, and brought the pan to a boil, then down to a simmer and let it cook till it's the consistency of soup. I hope you've enjoyed watching me share what I had over the Christmas period, and being transparent that I enjoy my food too. What did you have for Christmas? I hope you'll share what you had in the comment section down below.